My name is Dawn Neal, my job title is art buyer and I work for Bowden. This is the catalogue that I am involved in producing, and my job basically obviously it's all imagery, and I basically work very closely with the creative team. I source photographers, stylists, hair and makeup artists, and I'm also responsible for model castings. I oversee the budget and make sure that everything comes in on cost. So, you know, it's quite a deep involvement. It's just really quite satisfying, the whole thing, because you actually get to see something at the end, and when everybody loves it and sales are going really well, then it's really, really quite satisfying because you feel like you've had, you know, a good bit of input. When I was younger, I had no idea that this job existed. It's not one of those jobs that people say, you know, when you were 6 years old, say, what do you want to do when you grow up? I think I wanted to be a vet, which was quite different. And then as I got a bit older, I probably wanted to do something creative, but I wasn't quite sure what. I wanted to do something quite glamorous, I think. And I think that's why in the end I decided to become a hairdresser, because it was back in the day when it was still quite a glamorous thing to do, being a hairdresser. So I went to school in Canada. My family immigrated to Canada, so I went to school in Canada. So I did basically, I guess what would be GCSE / what used to be called O-level in most subjects, except for art. I did a A-level art course. I did an apprenticeship at Vidal Sassoon's in Toronto, in Canada. I really enjoyed it. It was great. It was really great. It was great sort of socially as well for an 18-year-old, hanging out with all these really cool people. And then when the reality bit, and I was having to go to work every day, and you're not sort of learning all the time, and you're always kind of trying to make yourself better, but I was getting quite bored. And then just out of sheer coincidence, I'd been on holiday with a friend in Berlin, and was at that sort of crossroad of what am I going to do next. So I thought, oh, I'll go to Berlin for a couple of months. And anyway, I stayed there for 10 years. During that time, I met some photographers, and I got invited to come and do some tests with them, and it's kind of took off from there. I built a portfolio up together, and the industry was really becoming quite professional then, and I went to Hamburg with my portfolio, presented it, and got an agent to represent me, and that was my introduction into the photographic fashion industry. Quite by accident, I ended up at an interview as a photographer's agent. And the woman who interviewed me decided that I'd be quite good at it. And part of that job is copyright and budgets and production. So I kind of ended up where I wanted to be. And it's all kind of really, what I do now is probably really developed more from that point there. So it was quite a turning point. When I became a freelancer, it's because I'd met a guy who used to work in the hair salon that I was working at the time, being very bored. And he came to visit us and told us about his, you know, glamorous freelance career working in studios with great photographers. And I thought, well, if he can, I can. So I found that quite inspiring. And also my partner as well, because both our careers took completely different turns from where we started out from. But it was all kind of, you know, supporting each other. And if we wanted to change, then the other would just back the other one up. Well, what I'm going to be doing in 5 or 10 years' time, that's actually quite difficult. I think because I'm really enjoying what I'm doing right now, and I've kind of just got to the point where this role is still developing. That it's quite difficult to see because I haven't really started visualizing what it is I want to do beyond this. What I've learnt about a career is that have an idea what you want to do, and if it changes because you've made the wrong decision, it doesn't mean packing it all in. It just means maybe taking a slightly different path.